Okay, so welcome to the third Aptitude 2020 series. Today we have a great guest in Ansell who's going to shed some light on a new glove-in-glove system that they've introduced and is available for contracting through Aptitude. This is a series that we've started this year as a way of allowing supply chain professionals in healthcare to keep tabs on new products and different products that are being introduced into the healthcare supply chain. They're designed to be quick and just, kind of to the point. We'll have 20 minutes of presentation, and then we'll allow about 20 minutes for any questions. And the goal is just to connect you with the audience, with the content experts, for you to learn more about what's going on. So before I turn it over to Ansell, just wanted to spend a quick second on kind of defining aptitude and what that is. We are a healthcare contracting market, and what we do is facilitate business agreements between parties. In this case, that is the hospitals and also the suppliers. So we're facilitating the contracting negotiations, if you will, allowing business partners to establish those strategic relationships that are valued in healthcare today. We do this primarily through sharing data, also through technology, so we're able to automate aspects of the process today. It is designed to be complementary to the processes that are out there. It is not designed to be a replacement. So just always like to give a little bit of background before we do that. So I am going to turn it over to Pam Werner, who's a senior clinical consultant with Ansell, and then she will provide more information on this great glove-in-glove system. So Pam?
Okay, let me get my share screen up here.
Okay.
Are you seeing it?
Okay, yep.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you for that kind introduction, and thank you all for joining, as well as creating this opportunity to share information about products in this sort of compact form. So we are evidently the third in the first series here, so we are pleased to be part of it. And with that, we'll get going. If I can make my screen move, which was my problem yesterday. Justin, it is not moving.
You might want to reduce the header that's at the top up there. Sometimes that will help. Or you can also push the key on your keyboard to maybe advance it.
There we go. Although I've missed a page. So let me just, before I get lost in going backwards, let me tell you that the previous slide was about the table of content. So today we do have a little bit of a roadmap that we're going to follow as we share some information about our glove-in-glove. So we'll talk about some of the clinical relevance of the glove-in-glove system. We'll talk about the features and benefits of that GAMMEX PI glove-in-glove system, as well as a little deeper dive into the actual product overview, something you're probably familiar with looking at. As Justin mentioned, I am a senior clinical consultant with Ansell Healthcare. I'm a nurse. Most of my nursing experience is in the operating room, and most of that operating room experience was at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. So I worked my way from staff nurse roles into various leadership roles until I was managing that OR. I managed a small adult facility for a while before I joined Ansell. So I'm very familiar with the operating room environment, surgical patient care, and administration as well. And because I've been in the field with Ansell for 17 years or so, I certainly am familiar with the healthcare business environment and chatting with folks like you and sharing information about our products. So again, I welcome and thank you very much for joining today. I am Okay, let's start this off with a little brief video just to give you a really quick snapshot of what's going on. We're going to talk about this revolutionary product that we have developed, and it really adds some multiple benefits to the healthcare environment. So this is a quick one, and hopefully you guys can see it okay. I did this yesterday. There we go. So let's talk a little bit about some of the clinical relevance of this glove product. So here are some statistics that you may or may not be familiar with when we talk about the impact of why you would want to implement double gloving in your facility. So it's worth noting that during a number of studies, there were no negative impact on surgeons' dexterity and tactile sensitivity when switching over or beginning the double gloving practice. In fact, I've read a number of articles, and depending on who you read, it's approximately 3 to 90 days in order to develop sort of this new muscle memory when you are starting to double glove if you've never double gloved before. But it is equally important that the right glove combination be chosen as part of this system, and we'll discuss this in our slides here. So in keeping with the overall impact of double gloving, you can see here on this slide that there are a number of high-risk pathogens such as hepatitis and HIV that can be transferred when there is a breach or an injury through the glove, through the skin, and to the wearer of the glove. So in the OR, there can be this breach in glove integrity, and approximately 30% of nurses have these injuries incur, and much of this is due to the passing of instruments, and honestly, that's part of the nature of the operating room. Instruments are getting passed, so a number of instruments, sharp instruments, and sharp items on the sterile field, and so there is injury at the sterile field. Needle stick. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. So also you can see that defects seen in the number of cases have been found. And again, that depends on the duration of wear of the glove. That is the amount of time spent in the operating room. Many studies have been conducted by some of the world's leading healthcare organizations, and they recommend double gloving as a result of these extensive studies. So you may be familiar with some of these organizations. They recommend double gloving as best practice to significantly reduce healthcare workers' risk. And that word best practice comes up a lot. So double gloving is a recommendation for best practice for safety, for patients and staff alike. And why is that best practice? Well, the importance of double gloving really can't be ignored, and some of these statistics are the reason why. So when you double glove, the studies have indicated that inner glove perforation is reduced by about 71%. So the outer glove might be breached, but the fact that you have a second underglove on means that you have not breached the second glove. In addition, there's the literature has shown that wearing a dark colored or contrasting underglove helps to identify breaches in approximately 86% of the time. So you have a contrasting color underglove, you have a heightened awareness of the fact that you have two gloves on, but then you can see that breach because the underglove sort of lights up underneath a white glove. Again, getting to best practices, you can see there are a number of organizations who recommend this as a best practice, and they advocate for double gloving as best practice. In terms of efficiency, In the high-risk units, such as the emergency room or the trauma room of the emergency room, labor and delivery, where you often have to move quickly and get the procedure going, this type of product is efficient to use, and you're double gloved and protected in one don or done. Ansell is the first glove manufacturer to develop and bring it to market, this double gloving system where the two gloves are pre-donned up to the fingertips. So first to market, it is our one don and done, which you see is a pretty popular tagline. I kind of like saying it myself. This is really a custom machine of ours that's patent pending and to pre-don these two gloves together. Let me be clear here that the gloves aren't fused together or glued together. They are two gloves that are just packaged together like this. So customers can remove the over glove if they need to change it during the procedure. Sometimes folks don't understand that, and so I want you to know that. So having this one don and done eliminates some of the cumbersome challenges associated with traditional double gloving practices. That is finding the right glove size, putting the two gloves on, the pain and discomfort during lengthy procedures if you're not, you don't have the right combination on, etc. Additionally, this new double glove system from us is latex free. It does provide protection against type 1 latex allergy, and it supports healthcare facilities' latex-free conversion initiatives, should you have that going on in any of your facilities. I know I'm never supposed to apologize as a speaker, but I have a bad cold, so that's me coughing. So just how does this system work? So the GAMMEX PI glove and glove system combines two already innovative glove solutions from Ansell. So I said before, the gloves aren't fused or glued together in any way, shape, or form. What we use is the GAMMEX PI hybrid on the top or as the outer glove. It is that white glove that you see on the left-hand side of the screen here. This is a 50-50 blend of polyisoprene and neoprene materials. So it provides that comfort of polyisoprene and the durability of the neoprene glove. So it's a very nice, durable, standard thickness kind of glove. The GAMMEX non-latex PI underglove, the green glove that you see on the right-hand side, this is a micro-thin kind of glove with exceptional dexterity, provides good tactile sensitivity, but importantly in a double gloving situation, it provides that contrasting color as the underglove or the first glove for easy identification of a glove breach in this double gloving system. So if the top white glove is breached, there's a small breach in it, fluid sort of seeps in, and then you get this sort of lit area on the glove, and you can see it and change your top glove or both gloves if necessary. So the two gloves are donned all the way to the fingertips and packed in a single inner wrap and a single poly pouch. So in addition to the clinical benefits of best practices for double gloving, contrasting color, sizing that works, this combination uses approximately 50% less packaging material, thereby reducing the environmental impact. Let's do a little deeper dive to the features and benefits of the GAMMEX PI glove and glove. Thank you for whoever put the slides together with the fly-ins. I love these. So some of the key benefits and features of the GAMMEX PI glove and glove include this convenience of two gloves in one. So the outer and inner gloves are already pre-donned or put together and aligned at the fingertips. So you are double gloved in one don. This also helps with facility SKU reduction and OR prep efficiency, really from the time the surgeon walks in the door till he's gloved and ready to drape and cuts down that time. It dons in half the time. So rather than having to put on 4 individual gloves, 2 on each hand, you just have to glove each hand and you have 2 gloves on at once. And lastly, as I mentioned before, it reduces the environmental impact as this system uses about 50% less material with only the one poly pouch outer and the inner glove wrap. So this combination will also be at a cost savings when compared to purchasing your two gloves separately. I have another brief video here that I want to share with you. These are actual customers that put the glove on and gave us some feedback. So we visited a local healthcare facility. This would be a local healthcare facility if we were in Australia, but it is our Australian colleagues. We provided them with this new system. So let's take a few minutes and see some of their reactions.
Double gloving is part of our policy here. It's for patient safety and for your own safety. So you know if you've got a perforation in your glove, you need to change it because you're protecting yourself and you're protecting the patient.
We always double glove to reduce the chance of needle stick injuries, and also when you're touching sharp, bony fragments, it's to reduce the chance of getting cuts.
So this is the new one.
Oh, okay.
Put this one in first. Oh, it's easy to go in.
This is different. This is different. This is not what I expected. I love it. It's already doubled.
It's already doubled, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, so it's definitely a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
More convenient for us.
Done.
Done.
How quick, how long was that?
So just one on the left and one on the right, and that's it. And it's easy to put on. Yeah.
Quick. Done. Yeah.
I feel good.
You do like 10 operations every Monday, and every second matters. So it's good. It's quick. I like it. So this is the first time I've tried the double gloves on, and the initial aspects of this is they actually fit on pretty well. Often I have to adjust the undergloves quite a lot.
It feels like there's a better fit as well, like glove to glove wise, than when I put the two sets on separately.
I found that really easy to put on, easier than putting a second pair over the top.
And that was pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a lot quicker than normal.
It promotes people wearing double gloves, whereas otherwise they might just get one pair and not bother putting on the second pair.
Seeing how easy that was, you probably wonder why we haven't had it earlier. I don't know why anyone's not actually thought of this before, or maybe they have, they just haven't executed it.
And you can change the outer glove.
So you can change it as well, yeah?
Okay. Yep, that's good. So you can replace it easily.
There's not much rubbish.
When you're having the double glove, you use double the packaging and double the wastage.
Well, this way it's one lot of packaging too instead of two lots of packaging.
Exactly, better for the environment.
Oh, that was great. That was really quick. You have to go because one of our patients is on the table, waiting for the two of us. Yes.
So I wish I could say I got to be down in Australia when they were doing that tabletop, but I wasn't. My clinical consultant colleague down there was part of that group. But I have done similar tabletops here in the United States, across the country, and heard the same sort of comment. So I hope that helps to see things a little bit from the customer perspective. So just to move on and keep things rolling. So Ansell is a global manufacturer and a leader in technology and innovation. So I always like to say that. We're very innovative and always trying to come up with other products that will help meet the needs of our customers. So we do that in the form of these products in hand barrier protection. So over the years, we've heavily invested in our R&D efforts to develop several key proprietary technologies to address today's healthcare workers' key challenges with regards to safety and work efficiencies. So one of these, which we're talking about today, is the solution-oriented technology that are found in our GAMMEX PI glove and glove, as well as some other innovations that you see here. So another key benefit of the GAMMEX PI glove and glove system is that it's packaged in our new Smart Pack design. So you see on the picture on the right-hand side, these were standard what we call long packs. So you had 3 boxes there. Each box had 50 pairs, so there were 150 pair of gloves taking up that kind of space on a shelf. You see with our smart packaging on the bottom that with 50 pair in a box, you get more boxes on the shelf and therefore more pair of gloves. So you save space and efficiency. So the smaller box with 50% space saving, same amount of gloves in a box, time saving on restocking, and an overall 54% waste reduction, resulting in a positive environmental impact. So as we talked about before, the GAMMEX glove and glove system is available. It is already pre-donned. It is available in 2 sizing configurations. One of the options is with a half size smaller. Let me say this more clearly because I need to make the literature demonstrates sort of a 30-30-30 in terms of half size larger as your underglove, regular size on top, 2 gloves of the same size, or a half size smaller as the underglove. So we offer it as a half size larger and as the same size. When you're looking at our glove and glove and some of the information that I've shared with you today, these are some of our support materials. We have a number of them that are currently available for you to learn more about the GAMMEX PI glove and glove system and the practice of double gloving in general. You can also request some product samples to try out at your facilities, as well as visit us online at www.ansell.com/glove and glove, or you can send a request through our customer solutions us@ansell.com to receive these materials. Those videos are actually on YouTube, so you can always access them if you're so inclined to get onto YouTube, and your systems will allow you to. Lastly, before I wrap this up, and I think I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, I don't think anybody will mind, but it will give us more opportunity to answer questions for you. So in summary, we have a very robust portfolio of surgical gloves designed to meet virtually all of your hand protection needs. I always like to tell customers that as well. Depending on what your goal is, latex-free, double-gloved, we have a broad portfolio. I'm pretty sure we can find something that meets your needs. So in summary, the GAMMEX PI glove and glove system presents a new solution to your healthcare facilities. With the implementation of this system, multiple benefits can be added to the healthcare environment. With the pre-donned outer and inner gloves packed in one poly pouch and one inner wrap, it makes double gloving easier and faster, hence our one don done, saving on half of the donning time. With 50% less inner packaging materials used, it reduces the impact in the environment. Again, the outer and the inner gloves are aligned at the fingertips to minimize the need for adjustments after donning. And again, they're not glued or fused together, so you can change the outer glove. Both of these gloves are non-latex formulation, so it does protect against type 1 latex allergies and supports any kind of facility-wide latex conversion initiatives to be latex-free. Cost savings can be realized when implementing the savings when compared to buying the 2 gloves separately. The overall healthcare worker and patient safety needs are addressed and meet best practices by being double gloved, and also the contrast in color so you can identify that breach and handle a glove change in a timely fashion. So we think it really meets a lot of needs of the customers and helps healthcare workers provide safe and efficient patient care. With that, I want to thank you for your time today, and we're going to open this up to questions.
Great. Thank you, Pam. That was really good and insightful. Appreciate all the insight there. One thing one question that came up through the chat was if there's a breach, maybe a breach in the outer glove, what do you do, or how do you handle that?
Certainly. Because I'm here in the United States, I don't know if that is all that we're covering here. I really look to AORN standards or guidelines for the answer to that. What AORN recommends is if the breach is due to a sharp injury, you really should change both gloves. if the breach is due to contamination because you touched something and contaminated your outer glove, then you only need to change the outer glove. Every policy should have every hospital should have their own policy, but I always look to AORN for guidance.
Excellent. Good. We'll open it up. Are there any other questions on the phone or anything else folks would like to know? Okay. We did record this, and we will be sending out a link to the recording for if you want to share with others in your organization. And then feel free to reach out to Pam or folks on her team for additional information. So with that,
Justin?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
This is Tony Powell, and I was just curious, Pam, if you had information, you talk about the recommended practice of double gloving. Do you have any statistics to talk about what % of clinicians are double gloving, or how the practice is growing over some period of time?
There are some statistics in some articles and some not entirely scientific surveys like AORN has done. And there are certain groups that double glove more generally or as a practice than others. So your orthopedic surgeons tend to be double glovers. Your surgical technologists and nurses that scrub in all tend to be double glovers. But there's some instances where double gloving doesn't work because you don't have enough tactile sensitivity. But there's also needs to be look at the risk and the patient population that you're dealing with. For example, if you're doing eyes, I can understand why an eye surgeon who's putting in an IOL might not want to be double gloved. But there are options for the best sensitivity in double gloving with too thin gloves. So I would say that there's maybe somewhere between 50 to 70% of healthcare workers in the OR environment that double glove.
Okay, thank you. Also, if I may, one other question, and thank you also for the presentation, very informative. And you mentioned a statement about the cost savings compared to buying two gloves separately. Can you expand on that a little bit or describe how the glove is being positioned versus the cost of two gloves separately?
With that, I'm going to ask one of my GPO marketing colleague folks, because I get to say as a clinical consultant, you want to talk cost and dollars. You want to talk about how the glove works, what's in it, how to fit and feel, how to make it comfortable. I'm the person you want to talk to. So if one of my colleagues would chime in and answer that, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Pam. This is Andrew Hurdle here from Ansell on North America Medical Acute Care Marketing. You actually have about maybe 2 to 3% cost savings with regards to purchasing the products individually. Additional savings may be also incurred depending on your tier that you are within Vizient. So what we always say is reach out to your local Ansell sales rep, and they will do a value analysis or cost analysis to what your current usage is, and then we can give you some more absolute figures. But as we looked across our spectrum of customers, most of them are realizing about a 2 to 3% cost decrease by implementing this product.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Excellent. Well, guys, thanks again for the time, everyone attending, and then thanks to Ansell for the presentation. So well done, and that will conclude our session for the day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all.